a police chief who got 80 felonies, got arrested for 80 felonies. He then worked at an auto body shop while waiting to go to trial for these 80 felonies. He goes to an auto body shop to work. He steals catalytic converters. After stealing catalytic converters and getting caught for it and arrested, he then gets arrested again for faking his own death. You could not make this up. Let's put up a picture of him being escorted out of his aunt's home. He was a whole damn police chief. This is an update to a story we reported on just a few days ago. Former North Carolina police chief was arrested for allegedly faking his own death in an attempt to dodge prosecution on more than 80 felony charges. The ex-Chadbourne chief, Anthony Spivey, that's him, 36 years of age, skipped out on the court hearing, staged his own suicide, but was nabbed just after midnight on Thursday, hiding out at his aunt's apartment in South Carolina. Prosecutors tried to keep the slippery Spivey behind bars, but he remained free on bond. Then he ditched a recent court hearing, claiming he was sick with COVID. Okay, facing another court date on Monday, he staged his death. What did he do? He parked his truck near a boat launch on the Lumber River, and he left a letter saying goodbye to his family. All right, so you see the crime scene. He takes his truck. I mean, this guy is a regular Barney Fife. He takes his truck. He's thinking, yeah, this'll do it. Takes his truck, parks it, writes a cryptic letter about, a suicide. Family members described the incident as a possible suicide, and Columbus County, North Carolina police found Spivey's boat at the river with a .22 caliber rifle on board. A news release said a discharged round was still in the chamber. Cops said dive crews searched for 3 days. Investigators found nothing, but they never believed he killed himself. So they basically were just diving just to say, hey, listen, we dived in the water, all right? But we know he's not dead. As investigators collected video from surveillance systems and conducted interviews, it became more apparent that the scene on the river was staged. The press release said, a warrant was issued for Spivey's arrest on Wednesday, and police caught him in the apartment complex 12:45 a.m. on Thursday. I mean, that did not take long, according to Columbus cops. He ran from the complex, but was caught in the woods nearby Horry County. Prior to this incident, he was arrested after his most recent employer accused him of stealing catalytic converters. Spivey was awaiting trial for more than 80 felony charges from 2021. 80 plus. He was accused of what? Embezzling state property evidence, trafficking opium, and trafficking by fraudulent or forging prescriptions. He was also accused of embezzling funds meant for the family of a young child battling cancer. He stole money from a sick baby. All right. Investigators said he took $8,000 intended for the family of Philip Tanner Bufkin, who died of leukemia in 2019. Spivey also allegedly stole and sold 5 guns from the police department he was chief of in between 2019 and 2021. He got away with it for a long time. Just understand this, he got away with it for a while. And obviously he was making money, but I guarantee you this, he was not making that money alone. He sold those guns to somebody, he sold that dope to somebody, he engaged with other individuals in his criminal enterprise. I'm surprised that we have not heard the follow-up story about who he was in conspiracy with. But this guy, listen, this just me keeping it Glenwood. This has to be the dumbest SOB to ever do a crime with. Anyway, he's in jail now after faking his own death. Like I said, you can't make this up. Rayyvana.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. This man might be the dumbest, but I think this is a story that can really be used to highlight the problems with cash bail in this country. So this man's able to be out on bail because he had the money to post it, while there are people who are awaiting trial for years at Rikers, not convicted of a crime. People who die awaiting trial, never convicted of a crime. And I'm really proud of my state. Illinois is repealing cash bail by this time next year. It will be fully repealed. And I'm hoping that more people get involved in the movement to do this bail reform all across the country, because it creates stricter guidelines for releasing inmates. There's no cash bail. And someone like this man, who is obviously a flight risk, obviously has a very high propensity to be a repeat offender if he's and continue to do crimes if he's released on bail, might not have been able to do that. So I hope people continue to get involved in their states and try to implement the same type of judicial and bail reform all across the country.
Yep, very well said. And I got to remind people that the stats are already in. Money does not bring people back to court. If somebody shows up for court, it's not because they said, you know what, damn, I paid that bond money, I gotta go to court. It's because they don't want the other stuff connected to them not going to court, like a warrant for your arrest.